there?
I am.
What happened?
It was madness. So originally the SWAT officers walked through, and I took a couple of photos at that time, and they talked to the manager, who then basically they decided to leave, and then they reversed course, came back, and decided that they're actually going to shut down the McDonald's, and asked everyone to leave. So they asked us to be unpacking up our stuff. Evidently, I was not moving quickly enough for them to like, and and at which point I was given a countdown. I was told I had 45 seconds, 30 seconds to pack up all of my stuff and leave. At which point, the officer in question, who I repeatedly later would ask for his name and was never, or his badge number was never given it, decided that he was going to help me pack, and he grabbed my things and shoved them into my bag. And I was then he then arrested me, and as he handcuffed me, put on both very tight. He used his finger to put a pressure point on my neck, and it was just a very, very difficult experience.
Did he tell you what you were under arrest for not leaving a McDonald's quickly enough?
Correct. Yes. I mean, yeah. He would not tell me what I was under arrest for.
And he was in SWAT gear.
He was in complete SWAT gear, yes. And the most frustrating thing is about this, it's going to be very difficult to hold him accountable for his actions, just because I repeatedly asked over a dozen times for his name or ID number, was never given it. It was just a terrible experience. And the worst part was he slammed my head against the glass purposefully on the way out of the McDonald's, and then sarcastically apologized for it. It was just a terrible experience, and I recognize I'm in sort of a place of privilege here, both as a journalist and as a white person, frankly, in that I was evidently, the police chief made the decision not to go ahead and hold us.
You were subsequently released. You were also with Washington Post reporter Wesley Lowery, who's been tweeting about it. He says he was slammed into a soda fountain. He was also arrested. Is that correct?
Correct, yes. And I'm not even sure, at this point, there's so much madness going on social media, I'm not sure even exactly how the fact that we got arrested was put out there. On my way out the door, I don't know if this was originally how it got out, but I shouted at one of the McDonald's employees to please, tweet the fact that we had been arrested, and gave my name. I don't know if that's actually how it got out.
Did the police know you were reporters?
After they had handcuffed me, I'm not 100% on whether or not I mentioned I was a reporter, but that really shouldn't matter sort of in this equation. I wasn't going to try to exercise a point of, they could get in trouble if I handle him poorly in the situation, just because I was like any other customer who was in the McDonald's at the time, and simply two of us did not pack up quickly enough. I believe it was because I asked because I would not, after I took the initial photos of the officer, he would not give me his, he asked for my identification, and I declined to give it to him. So I think he sort of was holding a grudge about the fact that I refused to give him identification, which was my right to do, considering that I wasn't doing anything wrong.
These police officers in full SWAT gear who entered into a private business, a McDonald's, they ordered the McDonald's closed. Did they say under what authority or what legal citation they were closing?
They essentially came through and said that you guys can stay here, but we can't guarantee your safety, and that was fine with us, considering that they've cleared everyone out of the entire area. It was just such a massive presence and just complete overkill, in my opinion, on the number of officers that were there, and the mentality of the officers was extremely, extremely disturbing. They essentially acted as a military force. It was just incredible, and you couldn't reason with them. You couldn't, even after I was handcuffed and then pulled out the journalist card. As far as I know, I think I hadn't mentioned it before. At that point, the officer, who was a St. Louis County officer, a white man, I'd estimate probably around 40, and he was just he would not give me his badge number. None of the officers would give me a badge number. They forced us into a police car that was intended to be for the backseat was intended to be for 2 individuals, and it was 3 of us in there. It was a series of reporters along with a pastor who had been arrested. It was just an extremely the mentality was extremely disturbing.
Ryan Reilly from the Huffington Post, arrested tonight by police in Ferguson, Missouri, subsequently released, joining us on the phone. Thank you, Ryan. Really appreciate it.